wanna see love make a comeback. I wanna feel hope when it runs out. I wanna see everybody joining in until kindness wins again.
Hello, this is a collect call from
Paul Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect, press 2. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm doing. I think I should start with saying that I'm really sorry about yesterday.
Okay. Oh, it's fine. We don't need to talk about it anymore. It's okay.
So we have postponed my settlement conference, though, because honestly, we need to have Shonda, not really sentenced, but found guilty or whatnot before
Yeah.
I can get a good deal. Otherwise, my testimony will be pointless.
Yeah. No, I understand. I was going to ask you because I had it on my calendar and it reminded me today.
Yeah. I think I might have mistold you when my trial would have been, my jury trial. It was actually in October, which is Shonda's too, I suppose. I think I might have unintentionally told you it was September.
So it's not this coming weekend?
No.
Or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday?
No, it's in October, so... but
Is it the same dates in October or different dates?
I want to say it's the same or at least similar.
So like 10, 11, 12?
Yeah, something like that.
Is it for both you and Shonda or just her first?
I think her, because obviously I still haven't gotten any sort of deal. We're postponing my final settlement conference until after that, so hopefully I can get some sort of good deal when that does happen, though.
Yeah. Well,
as long as
I don't know if I can help.
Who do I?
I said I hope so, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, only time will tell. How you been other than, work?
I'm okay, but unfortunately we just entered high wedding season, so this was it's surprising that I'm home this early today. Thankfully, I had a really close by wedding, but tomorrow and Sunday both I have far away ones.
Oh, you gotta work Sunday?
All day, yep, probably till very late.
That's gotta suck.
It's not great.
Do you normally get that day off for the most part? No. What's the weather like down there?
Yeah, it's been really all over the place right now.
Yeah.
It's been like really hot or like bearable. I don't know. It was rainy yesterday. I think it's going to be raining tomorrow, but it was really, really hot today.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know what the weather's like outside. Normally, for the most part, the inside here reflects what the weather is outside, but for once, I can't tell. So, technically, my bunkie would have left yesterday, but after an incident happened while he was on the trustee, he lost his good time, so he's got I think he said the 26th. So just a little bit longer of having two Pauls in here, which is still confusing sometimes.
Right, but hopefully that'll be passed soon.
Yep, I've just resorted to calling him Bunky.
I had a customer I served this morning. He's a regular at the particular location I was, but his name always makes me chuckle because his first name is Paul, which doesn't make me laugh or anything, but his last name is Quackenbush. Like literally Quackenbush. Quackenbush.
What kind of name is that?
I don't know, but it always makes me laugh.
Yeah. So when you say normal customer, have you all started setting up the, restaurants or?
No, he's a regular at that location. But the only reason I remember him is because his last name's Quackenbush.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's hard to forget.
It'll be probably anywhere from 8 to 12 months before the brick and mortar's fully up and running.
Jeez.
That's just not quick.
No, it's not. At that point, I'll have freaking hit my minimum amount of years if I even, I'm still in here, which I hope to God not, honestly.
I hope not too, buddy.
I just hope all this gets going. Shonda being incapable of postponing any longer should help, but, who knows what she's going to try.
Yeah, I wish I knew.
Yeah. So, have you had any contact with any of the other family?
Not really. I think I talked to Mom for a few minutes the other day, but not really anything else.
Yep. Don't really talk to Dad?
No, I haven't talked to Dad in a while. I don't know what we would talk about, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Did you have Labor Day off?
Oh, no. Well, actually, technically...
I was about to say.
Okay, no, I had it off, not for any reason. Like, I don't get Labor Day off. It just happened to fall on a Monday, or maybe it always was on Monday. I don't know. There were no events, so...
Yeah. Your anniversary, what? Is it this month or next month? I can't remember.
Next month. It's in October.
Next month. Right. So... So, anything exciting going on outside of work?
Not really. Unfortunately, right now, because of the busyness of wedding season, there's not much to do other than work.
Yeah, I got that. We never really got all extremely busy, but at Applebee's there were times where it was just like, somebody take over for a moment. I need to step back, or I'm going to scream.
Yeah.
The dishes just kept coming and coming and coming. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but it's just weddings are very stressful and
I wouldn't doubt it.
high pressure, and they involve a lot of late nights because they're usually far away.
Yeah. I haven't watched some of it in a while, but didn't you say that you watched Bleach?
Bleach?
Bleach, yeah, the anime.
I have not watched Bleach.
Okay.
I cannot say that I have.
I couldn't remember if you said that one or if it was Naruto Shippuden.
I mean, maybe once in a... I have some coworkers that are super into Naruto, but
yeah.
I don't know it very well. I know he named their cat after a character. That's all I know.
It's funny how in here I actually learned of an anime that I had never known before, but maybe that's because it's like old gen. It's like 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
Some crap called Sailor Moon. It's like mostly female, so I didn't really, I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
I think somebody who had watched it in here said there was like one guy who was actually helping out the heroes, and he'd appear like once and then he'd be gone. It's like, wow. But it's been quiet as always, Do you have Monday off again?
I think I have Monday off. I think it's probably the only day I have off. I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet, but.
Yeah. I was wondering if it'd be really nice to see your face. If you could set up a video visit.
Can I do that through the same app?
Hang on, I got someone right beside me who can tell me.
Hey, Tim. Where do you set up the video call?
Okay, so you have to download the GTL mobile.
GTL or GTO?
L. There's two apps you need. GTL mobile. Okay, there's two GTL mobile apps apparently. Got to do both of them. Part 1 and Part 2. And create a profile.
Oh, I see. One and one of two. That's really dumb.
Yep. And then go to the jail website and set up the visit there. And you get one free visit a week. So.
Okay.
And that can be done on phone or computer, right?
So I have to download the apps, but I don't need to open them. I just need to.
I think like you said, I think there's one where you have to make a profile on it. I don't know which one. You'd have to, look.
Okay.
But, yeah. But,
all right, I've got them downloaded. I'll look into them.
Thank you. It'd be really nice to see a familiar face from the outside.
Yeah, of course.
It's annoying that they're still doing, I know that you can't really come up here and visit, but they're still restricting physical visits because they claim COVID, which is like, COVID ended, I don't know. I don't know when they dropped the restrictions. I just know they did.
Yeah.
But, that's jail. Cheap.
Yeah, among other things.
It'd be nice if they used actual meat in their food, because they don't in most of it. I swear some of the only real meat they really get are the meatballs at times.
Yeah.
Commissary prices are through the roof.
I'm sorry, buddy.
It's not your fault.
Still, it's annoying.
So, presidential elections are coming up next year, right?
Yes.
Is Trump running again?
I have no idea. I assume that he's going to try.
Yeah. I hope so. We don't need this moron running our country.
I would really just like an entirely new set of people. I would like to not have to pick between the lesser of two evils.
I mean, Trump wasn't too bad. He wasn't the best.
As a person, I would much rather just look at anyone else.
Yeah.
Not literally anyone else, but somebody else.
Honestly, I feel like sometimes our votes don't even matter. Because, they got those rich folk who want the president. They know they'll be able to push around 1 minute and stuff.
Right.
So, I mean, just, avoid politics altogether. Anyway, I better let you go, but I love you. It was great to talk to you.
It was good to talk to you too, buddy, all right? I love you very much.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye, bro.
Hopefully you can set that up before Monday.
I'll do my best, okay?
Okay. Love you, bro.
Love you too. I'll talk to you soon.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, bro.
The caller has hung up. Hello, this is a collect call from...
Hello, Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect, press 2. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing. How about you?
Oh, hanging in.
Yeah. Work been busy?
Yeah, work's been busy and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. You get to wish Nolan and Christina happy anniversary?
Yeah.
How's Mom?
She's doing good. She's sleeping right now.
Gotcha.
Mm. Yeah.
Anything interesting happening?
No, not yet.
You hoping for something interesting to happen?
No, not really. You all right?
Yeah, just tired and agitated. Been trying
Yeah, why agitated?
They didn't charge my tablets last night, and that's one of the things that helps with, my stress and anxiety of being here.
Yeah.
And I've asked, I don't know how many guards at this point. I know I handed it back in, and then I asked the guards that were on the next shift this morning, and now I find out again that they didn't properly plug it in.
Yeah.
I'm just getting, agitated very quickly.
Yeah.
Not to mention I've been wanting to text Nolan just in case I can't get a hold of him.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah. No.
So, had a lot of bills to pay?
What's that?
Have you had a lot of bills to pay? I just noticed that you haven't really been able to get
Yeah, I haven't been able to. My hours have been down some, and I've only got one shop right now, so I'm not hitting the big bonuses like I was, so that's cutting into my pay. I haven't forgot about you. I just haven't had it to do.
Yep, I figured. I asked Mom last time, and she told me the same.
Yep.
Last time I talked to her.
Yeah. And I'm sure you heard Shonda's thing got delayed.
Again?
Yeah, but this time it wasn't her or her lawyers. It was the government, because one of their witnesses wasn't going to be able to be there.
One of the government witnesses?
Yeah, the medical examiner had something else going on, so they had to delay it.
Yeah. I know that I postponed my final settlement conference because obviously Shonda's stuff has to be finished first.
Yeah.
Or, whatnot.
Yeah.
So, do you know when it's going to be then, her trial and whatnot?
Maybe November, but then we're getting into the holidays, so it may not be till next year. They don't know.
Right.
So.
I changed rooms. I'm now in T6 because the dude Anthony's bunkie moved downstairs. Anthony's the guy who's been here longest. He's been here nearly 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he just got a thing for a competency to stand trial, court ordered, and it's already been almost a month since that was issued, and if they fail to do so within 2 months, then he's home free.
Right.
So, and most of the people, a good amount of the people in here anyway, they're not bad people. They just, wrong place, wrong time type stuff. It's funny how I never realized that for CSC, there's a lot more females claiming it than guys. I don't know.
Right.
It's just... I have nothing against...
I know, Al.
Oh,
I know, Al.
I have nothing against females, obviously.
Right.
I feel like nowadays they have more power than we do.
Noel's coming over and begging for something. I don't know what. Probably attention since Mom's asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You been able to talk to Millie or anyone else lately?
No, I haven't.
No.
I've been so busy.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Nolan knows what that's like. It's wedding season.
Yeah.
At least he got to take his anniversary off.
Yeah.
That must have been nice.
Yep.
Man, this place is just killing me, though. Food's... I don't even know.
The same.
Sometimes it's worse.
Yeah.
I mean, the soy pellets that I thought were meat when I first got here used to be small and almost unnoticeable. Now they're giant frickin' chunks.
Yeah.
And I won't complain about the chicken patties, but the fact is sometimes now they're giving us spicy chicken patties, and I eat them, but, I don't really like them.
Yeah.
There's so much pasta and starch, potatoes and rice. It's just, ugh. Is that the TV in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Because you'd said Mom was asleep, and I didn't think that she would be awake just yet. I know how she likes her naps.
Yeah.
I'd hoped I'd be out of all this by Christmas, but like you said, that's doubtful at this point.
Yep.
Honestly, even prison would be better than jail. This is the worst jail of them all. Sure, they even have like Facebook and Messenger in prison now. But you don't have to pay for every frickin' call and whatnot. Have you seen the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie yet?
Yep.
Yeah, I did too. They put it on the tablets, and I had a bit of money to spare from what Nolan sent me at one point, so I figured why not. It was really good. It was nice to finally get Rocket's backstory.
Yeah.
But, have you been able to take a look at the Securus mobile?
No.
Gotcha. That's okay.
All righty. Well, we're probably close to time, I feel.
Yeah, probably. I'd better let you go, Dad, but I love you.
All righty. I love you, too. I think about you a lot.
Yep. I'll see you soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Or talk to you soon, not see you soon. Good.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
I'll talk to
All
you.
right. I love you.
Love you, too.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Dad.
The caller has hung up. Hello, this is a collect call from
Paul Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect,
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Nope. Just got home, out walking the dog.
Gotcha. How you been doing?
Oh. Busy.
Yeah, I bet. Did no one inform you of that I'd gotten a subpoena for December?
No.
No, I figured he'd be busy. He'd gotten busy with work, so he hadn't had time.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I think it said it's either the 10th to the 14th or the 11th to the 15th. I know it's like a 4 or 5 day trial, something like that.
Right.
But yeah. So yeah, there's that. And then let's see, not related to court. I misstepped on coming down the stairs the other day.
Uh-oh.
Rolled my ankle and sprained it pretty
Ouch.
bad. Yeah.
Ouch.
They actually took me out of facility yesterday and got some x-rays. It wasn't broken, but it was bad enough that the swelling was visible on x-ray.
Yeah.
So they put me in a boot and for the next 2 weeks or so, and some non-prescription pain medication. So
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't hurt as much as it did, but that's
Good.
with the help of the boot.
Severe sprain.
Yeah, couldn't even wiggle my toes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Been there, done that.
Yep. And of course, while I'm not on bottom tier, the guys at the were at their doors frickin', just stomp on it, it'll feel better. No, not happening.
Yeah.
Not in a million years.
Yeah.
So, of course, there was also the downside that I waited like 4 hours after. I waited till lunch or breakfast the next day to tell the guards about it because I thought it would just go away, the pain. I thought it was nothing too bad, but when it didn't, I'm like, yeah, okay, something's wrong.
Right. Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. How's Mom doing?
She doing good. Working lots.
Yeah. Is she home yet or not yet?
Yeah, she was on the phone when I was in there with Aunt Krish. So.
No. So, I figured I'd try to get in contact with you and catch up a bit because I know it's been a hot minute since I last talked to y'all.
Yeah. Yep. Oh. I need more stores.
Yeah.
I just got one store right now, and
yeah, still slow.
Well, it's not that it's slow. It's just that whatever comes through that store is all that I can do. Whereas if I had multiple stores, I could make more money.
Gotcha.
I mean, after putting money in, I got my bonus, but after putting money in, the bills account and stuff like that, I got like $25 out of my bonus.
Wow. That is like bad.
So, yep.
Anything interesting happening down there, or not really?
A couple weeks ago, they sent somebody out to do an evaluation on my teaching style for the job to make me a mentor. So people new coming in will come and spend time with me, and I can help get them trained in what we do, and opportunity for more money.
Yep.
Yep.
How's Mom's car running?
It's going good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Noelle's doing good.
It's a whole mile and a quarter for her to get to work.
Yep.
So
probably do how many round trips of that on a full tank?
Like a month worth. Come on, Noelle.
Yeah.
Even with a little bit of running around on the weekends, it's still like, once a month she fills up.
Yep. I mean, I used to be able to get only take out half of an e-bike battery with a 10-mile bike. But that's because I was smart with it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't constantly hold the throttle. It was more jostle, because dang thing was only one speed. It was either goes at all or nothing. So jostling helped to not only save battery but tone down the speed.
Yep. Yeah, I see quite a few of those type e-bikes around here.
Yeah.
And it looks like those things go like 35 miles an hour, and they're just booking along.
Mine only went about 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shonda was still paying it off, so oh well, for her credit. Not like I care. You been in contact with Millie or any of them lately?
No, I haven't.
Gotcha.
Hey, Noelle. Hey, come sit on the couch with me. Yes.
Is Mom around? Would it be all right if I talked to her for a bit?
She's still on the phone.
Gotcha.
Hi. Yes. Yeah, when I get off the phone with you, I'll figure out dinner. Yep. Got the dog locked, though.
Yep.
Her needs a shave is what she needs.
You know what they've been giving us recently for food?
What?
I'm not going to complain about it, because I mean I haven't had real pizza since I got here, but it's pizza basically.
Right.
Of course, Tuesday when we had it, they freaking they were going to give one of the other guys upstairs this piece that was like, I don't know, a little battered from, I guess, getting jostled.
Right.
But thing is, he has freaking favor with the inmate trustees, so and they gave him a good piece and then gave me the jostled one. I was furious.
Well.
So, you've been able to look into that Securus Mobile on your downtime, or not really?
No.
Gotcha. That's all right.
Alrighty.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
But
So I'll try to stay off your feet as much as possible.
Yep.
Keep it elevated.
Yep. I've been doing so.
Good.
Hopefully you'll inform Mom of everything that's been going on.
Yep, I will let her know.
Thank you. Give her a hug for me.
I will.
I'll talk to you soon, though, Dad. I love you.
Okay, sounds good. I love you too, buddy. All right.
I'll let you go.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, Dad.
The caller has hello. This is a collect call from
Paul Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect, press 2.
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hi, Mama.
Hey.
I hope I wasn't interrupting anything.
No, you're okay. What's going on?
Not much. I'm doing all right.
Good.
Dad fill you in the other day?
Yeah, he said you fell and sprained your ankle really bad. But
Yeah. Did he tell you about court as well?
that you've been subpoenaed, yes.
Okay. How's work been?
Busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing too interesting on your part?
Nope. Same old, same old.
It's been a bit since I was able to talk to you, and I miss you.
I miss you too.
I suppose this subpoena is just a sign that things are finally starting to move. Gosh,
You've never received a subpoena before for it?
No. I received a subpoena for another case because I was a witness of
Yeah,
dudes who had
yeah,
been
but
in
not
this
for your
pod.
mama.
No, not till now. I know that they took me down for her preliminary hearing, but I didn't get a subpoena for that.
How did the preliminary thing go?
I testified against her, and told me my testimony can't be used against me in my trial, which is likely not going to come to that for me. I'm just going to hope that I can get a good deal off the bat and do whatever time I have left of it.
Yeah.
The officer who had taken me to the hospital to get all this looked at, I heard something on his phone. He was on TikTok, but it actually sounded like something that I feel like I should mention. Something about a D.C. bill. They're lowering the maximum on certain felony charges, one of which is murder. I'm not sure if I heard it right. I don't know if you know anything about it.
No.
But I figured I'd ask. Some of the guys in here have no sympathy. They probably have a higher tolerance as well. When I first sprained my ankle, guys on bottom tier that were locked down at the time were all, just stomp on it. Get over it. It'll feel better. No, not happening. When I could barely wiggle my toes without pain shooting through my entire foot, there's no way I'm risking stomping on it. Just some people. What can you do about it? You been in contact with Millie or Lexi recently?
Yeah, they're doing okay.
Yep. Anything new?
No.
No?
Not really.
Millie's doing good in school?
Yeah.
How are Kylan and Kaya doing?
Good.
Yeah. You got any videos from, I think you said Kaya's band stuff?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh. So I shouldn't be charged for the x-rays or for the boot they gave me to walk with for 2 weeks, because, I mean, it happened on the jail's property. It wasn't my fault that I misstepped. So I've already talked to Nolan that if they try and charge me for it, first I'm going to kite in and be like, hey, what in the world? And if they don't do anything about it, I'm going to have to ask him to get involved. I hope it doesn't come to that at all.
What's Nolan going to be able to do?
I don't know. There's not much I can do in here, but I figured there'd be at least a little bit more he could do from the outside. I mean, I don't want to have to ask him to help me pay off over $400. That's just way too much.
Yeah.
But I just hope it doesn't have to come to that. So how's Aunt Chris doing? I know you was talking to her the other day.
She's good.
Yeah. Did you hear that Nolan sent in an application for a different sort of job?
I knew he was going to.
Yeah, I heard about it the other day. So he works hard. That he does.
Yes, he does.
But I get the feeling that he's starting to feel like he's working a bit too much and doesn't have any real personal downtime, which I get. I do.
Yep.
Any sort of contact from the Vander Arcs? Nothing?
Nope.
No, I figured as much. I just figured I'd ask. It'd be nice to at least, get to talk to Gabriel once when all this is done and over with. Just, tell him goodbye before I have to go to North Carolina. But I get the feeling that...
I think that you're probably not going to see him until he's an adult if he wants to see you.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't blame them.
With you being charged with child abuse, you're probably not going to be allowed around kids.
Yeah. But anywho, I don't know if I'll have my final settlement conference after Shonda's trial or after she's sentenced or what, but I'll let you know as soon as I get an update of some sort on that. Mama?
Yeah, I'm here.
Sorry. So, have you had any time to look into getting where you could set up a video call? Because I know you get a free one every week.
No, I haven't, to be honest.
That's okay. I figured you have a busy schedule. Eat, sleep, and work. So. I know I talked to him the other day about it, but has Nolan managed to share the Securus mobile app with you and Dad?
Yeah, he sent it to me. I'm just not comfortable setting it up.
All right, that's okay. I love you, Mama. I miss you so much. I hope that all this is over with soon so I can give you a great big hug. I should probably let you go.
Okay. I love you.
I love you too. I'll talk to you soon, Mama.
Okay. Bye, baby.
Bye, Mama.
The caller has hung low. This is a collect call from
Paul Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect, press
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I hope I didn't wake you up.
No, you're good. I woke up a few minutes ago. I worked very late last night.
Gotcha. I talked to the prosecutor the other day.
Okay.
Ran through the basics of what's going to happen.
Okay.
So it's most likely that I won't be testifying until, I think they said the second or third day of the trial, because of course they have to pick the jury, and then they're going to start with the officer's testimony.
Right.
And then they're going to get into mine. So.
Okay.
But.
Is there anything else they said?
Well, they let me know that a note that I had written to Shonda and had one of the inmate employees or trustees give to her was sent to her lawyer. So I'm glad that they did that so that I wouldn't have been surprised in court.
Yeah.
I wrote some very not nice things because I was very angry with her.
I understand that.
But so they said that all of this should be wrapped up by February or so.
Yeah. Last I checked, her date was still in December, is it?
The 12th through the 15th. It hasn't changed. I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, but that's for her. Then they got to do you and all that stuff, so.
Yep. Well, this stuff
doesn't
would be a lot
again.
easier than her, so.
Right.
So, have you managed to talk to Grandpa Vander Ark?
Oh, I forgot about that. He has your stuff, right?
Yes, which, that was a relief to know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I'm not sure where to have it. He's probably just going to have to hold on to it for now. I'm not sure where to have him put it.
You don't have a storage unit?
First off, no, I don't have a storage unit, and I definitely don't have a storage unit in Michigan.
Well, I know you don't have one in Michigan.
Well, I don't have one in general.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I'd get that much. I don't know how I'd get it all here anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Shipping a bunch of stuff can get very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Do they do anything for y'all for Christmas in there?
Do what?
Do they do anything for y'all for Christmas in there? Or at least a meal or something?
Not really, no. A slightly different meal, but it could still be better.
Sure.
Slice of ham and whatnot, but that's really the only big change. I did put that wish list in, so around Christmas, instead of putting money in commissary, you can If you can do that, that'd be great. Because that could hold me over for a while.
Okay. I'll try and find it on the website.
Yep.
The website sucks, but I'll figure it out.
Yep. I'll talk to the guys in here and see if I can't figure it out.
I'm sure I can figure it out given time.
Yep. Crap, I lost my train of thought.
You can
I
do
don't
it.
remember what I was about to say. Darn it. It'll probably come back.
Okay.
But I'm glad that this is getting closer to getting over. I know it's still a bit of a ways, but
still better than nothing.
yeah. So, prosecutor is obviously he's not happy that I didn't stop any of this, but he's glad that I'm doing something to right it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sean is going down one path, I'm going down a better one.
Right.
So, it's weird. My ankle's still bothering me.
Is it?
It doesn't hurt. I can put pressure on it and whatnot, but it's just bending it at a certain degree hurts, or having it randomly jostled. I don't really know what it is.
I'm not sure either. What did you do to hurt it again?
I slipped while going down the stairs and twisted it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I need a haircut really badly.
I would love a proper haircut. The most I can do in here is have my monkey trim it with the razors.
Why don't they let you get haircuts?
They have a place where you can get haircuts, but at the moment it's they won't let us because COVID, which is a bunch of baloney.
And literally over, but okay.
Exactly. Jeez. So apparently it wasn't the bail bondsman that was set on fire first. It was some other place around the back of what we can see. But, the fire spread and, water damage from the fire hoses.
Right.
But someone was working on the roof, and they said, and made it hit something or another, made some sort of mistake, it set something on fire. I don't know. I didn't ask for details.
Yeah, I don't blame
you. One thing I wasn't sure whether or not I should talk to the prosecutor about was the fact that there was 3 or 4 days between Shonda's arrest and my arrest. That
I probably wouldn't bring it up. It probably doesn't have any bearing on anything.
Yeah.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that this whole thing is done with soon.
You and me both, bud.
I'm tired of waking up in this frigid place. Swear, it would kill them to turn on the heat. I swear. It's
I'm sorry.
annoying.
So cool. Michigan's not a good state to not have AC.
Do not have heat, yeah.
Or yeah, heat.
I don't know what kind of crazy person would blast the AC in the frickin' winter.
Apparently them crazy people.
I want to be able to wake up in a bed that's actually comfortable and not on these godforsaken mats.
Right.
My body's already creaky and groany from the 2 jobs and working in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
This is just going to make it worse, I swear.
Right. Anyway, Christina's starting to wake up now, so I need to get up and make her breakfast. But I'm glad I was able to catch you this morning.
Yeah.
And I love you.
I love you too. Now I remember what I was about to say real quick. I haven't been using the text too much because I think we're almost out again.
Oh, okay. I'll fill it up.
Yeah. But I love you, and I'll talk to you soon, bro.
I love you too. I'll talk to you soon, bro.
I'll let you know if anything new for court comes up.
Okay, please do.
I'll talk to you soon.
I'll talk to you soon, buddy. Hang in there.
Yep. Bye.
All right. Bye.
The caller has hung up. Hello, this is a collect call from
Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to the...
Thank you for using Securus. You may start a conversation now.
Hey, buddy. Sorry, I know it's last minute, but I knew I would just barely make it home in time.
Yep. So I wasn't bothering anything. That's good.
No, yeah, you're fine. It was a late night at work. Did you get that commissary money I added?
Yes, I did.
Good.
So have you managed to figure out the wish list thing, or still working on that?
Not exactly. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Hold on. Their website's a nightmare.
Yeah, it is. So I'm considering buying a hairbrush, and some earbuds of my own, because I'm just getting tired of having to borrow other people's whenever I want to watch something or listen to my music. And the frickin' comb is just not doing it. I've got the comb I had when I first got in here, near a year and a half ago. So it's all sorts out of shape.
Right.
But did you see my other texts though about you did secure more texts? I'm not honestly
sure. I did.
Okay. And about the visit around Christmas? It'd be nice to actually see a familiar face, even if it's not, face to face.
Yeah, I did. Sorry. I'll see what I can do. I found your Christmas wish list. They're not gonna try and give all this to you at one time, right? Where are you gonna store this?
I have a tote. We get totes when we're pulled out of holding and into quarantine for our personal belongings. I figured 2 weeks worth of stuff should hold me over until the next paycheck that comes after that. I figured I probably won't get it till the Friday after Christmas, but which means you could use the paycheck on the 27th. How much is it currently? I don't remember the price.
$72.55 plus fees, which will probably put it over $80 if I had to guess.
Well, food items aren't taxed in Michigan.
That doesn't mean they're not taxed online because the system is messed up.
Yeah.
And even if it's not taxed, it says and fees, and they always charge a pretty substantial fee.
Yeah.
It's usually like 20%.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out if I couldn't get it to a perfect 75.
I mean, you can try if you want. It's only a couple dollars difference, but it's going to be, here, let me see if it'll show me. Yeah, the tax and convenience fees puts it at 78 as of the moment.
Oh, yeah, then I won't add any more. Good grief. Didn't realize that taxes were such a pain in the rear.
It's not the tax, it's the quote-unquote convenience fee.
Convenience my butt.
Right.
Yeah. Bunch of baloney, if you ask me.
I would tend to agree.
Yeah. So, anything from your end?
No, not really. Work. I'm just trying to get through this week of work, and then I have the next week off for kind of a staycation.
Oh, that's nice. That's probably very nice.
Hopefully. I'm sure it'll be nice. We've got a few things planned with some friends and stuff like that, so.
Yep. Finally get some off time. It definitely sounds nice.
Yeah, we definitely need it. So,
so I don't know if there'll be live streaming or whatever the court, but that's next week. Well,
yeah, it's in 4 days.
Do you think you and is also off?
Yeah, we'll be off. I'll be keeping an eye on it, but I don't know that it's going to be necessarily publicly available.
Yeah. Your family. It'd be nice to know that you're watching and silently praying for me.
Well, I can guarantee I'll be praying for you. I don't know about watching, but we'll see if that's an option.
I suppose silently praying will do.
Yeah.
I miss you. I miss the outside world.
I know, buddy. Just hang in there.
Yeah.
One way or another, you'll get out.
Yep. My poor Bunky. By the time all this is done and over with, he'll have likely been in jail 30 months, which is what he's hoping to get sentenced to.
Right.
Of course, once all this is done and over with, he's going to sue the crap out of them and make sure that the charges and after stuff is removed, because supposedly it was BSC against a minor. Thing is, the two had started dating before he turned 18, therefore Romeo and Juliet clause was in effect.
Right.
So, and the supposed dick also told him she was 16, and it's not like you'd normally ask a person for an ID when you're on a date or dating.
Right.
It's just not something people consider.
Right.
But anything from Steve?
No, I need to reach out to him about a few things. I also need to reach out to him about a few other things, so I'll email him sometime this week.
Yep. Do you know if Gabriel's been enrolled in public school yet?
Unfortunately, I've not been able to keep that kind of contact with them, so I'm not sure.
I gotcha.
Anyway, it's late. I know you're about to close up, but I need to grab something to eat and shower and go to bed. I have work early in the morning again.
Yep.
But I love you. And I miss you.
I love you too. I miss you too. I hope all this nightmare is over soon. I told you that it should be over for me completely by late January, early February, court anyway, right?
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah. One other thing, if you could ask Steve if we could set up a small visit between me and him after Shonda's stuff. I know that they're having to cut off because of that primary part, but hopefully afterwards he'd at least be willing to talk a little.
I'm not sure yet, but we'll get to it.
Yep. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon, bro.
All right, I love you,
nice
buddy.
to catch you. I love you too.
Of course. All right, bye,
Give
bro.
Chris a hug for me.
Will do, of course.
I'll talk to you soon, bro.
All right, talk to you too.
Bye.
Bye.
The caller has hung up. Hello, this is a collect call from...
Hello, Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press
1. To just thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, bro.
Buddy.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you hanging in?
I'm doing good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, buddy.
So, yeah, that order did go through. There was items left on the wish list. I was kind of confused, and then I got the bag, so it's like, okay. Did you change up the order?
No, I did it as is.
Huh, that's weird. I don't know what the heck is going on. What were you saying, though? You were about to say something.
I can double check. I forgot to check earlier. I gotta double check if it charged me for it.
I mean, if I got the bag, it definitely charged you for it.
Right, but how much it charged?
20 or 74 something was what it read for me.
Right, but that should have given you everything, shouldn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I don't understand. It might have been a glitch of the system. Like I said, I don't really trust the systems here. They're weird.
Right.
Did you do anything fun for New Year's?
I worked a terribly, terribly long day.
Oh, gee, that's gotta suck on New Year's. Wow.
Yeah, somebody wanted to get married on New Year's for some reason.
That's a bit much.
You're telling me.
To get married before the clock struck 12 or after? Like,
Before, I suppose.
Yeah. Still, though, it's like, okay.
Right.
I'd have rather been spending my New Year's at home, toasting the New Year, watching the ball drop, all that.
You and me both, buddy.
Yeah. So, you unfriended and blocked me on Facebook, right?
I hadn't got around to it.
Yeah. Mom and Dad have already been getting crap from people. I don't want that happening to you, and Millie's probably already done the same, as of various others. I don't exactly know.
Yeah.
But I don't want you or your name to get dragged through the mud because of me.
Yeah, I know.
I heard from Mom that Millie's coming with you when you come up here.
Yeah.
She been troubled about this, or I mean, everybody has.
Who,
but
Emmy?
Is there something? Yeah. Is there a certain something she wants to? I don't really. She doesn't have to. It's kind of weird that she would, I suppose. I get the feeling she doesn't exactly want to see me.
Right.
But I sent in a kite, I think earlier or yesterday, trying to see if I could sit in on Shonda's sentencing. But on that day, you should be able to talk to the prosecutor about sitting and just chatting for a little bit with me.
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
Yep. So it's crazy. My sentencing's barely a week after hers.
Yeah.
Yep. So. And anything interesting been happening?
Not particularly. Just
work.
Just to relax and recover from work. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we went to dinner at a place that I applied to today, so that I could talk to the manager and see if maybe if I get lucky, they'll
let
give me
you.
a call.
Yep. I don't normally purchase movies in here because you only get them for like 2 days.
Uh-huh.
When you rent them, you've got 30 days to watch them, but then once you start watching, you've only got 2 days to watch. Well, rented this anime movie called Belle. It was actually a really good one. Have you heard of it?
I have not.
No? I don't exactly know how to describe it, honestly. I watched it like 5 times, but basically the world has like this super complex online world that's called You, and your characters are auto-generated and based off personal, and they read your biometrics and draw out the user's hidden strengths.
Interesting.
And Belle, Suzu, which means Belle in Japanese, is like this famous singer in You.
Right.
And she meets this user that most people just call the Beast, and he's like this fighter who's got like a cape covered in bruise markings.
Right.
So it's actually pretty impressive. But the one thing that really kind of got me blinking was the fact that it wasn't just virtual reality. It was like they put in a pair of weird-looking headphones that weren't any bigger than a quarter.
Right.
And like it connected to their nervous system. That's about the gist of how it worked.
Interesting.
Because you could open your eyes and see into the world of You despite being, in the world of reality.
Right.
And like move without actually having to move your body. It's just makes me kind of wonder just how long something like that would actually take in the real world.
Right. It's definitely weird.
That kind of technology is something that our generation will never see, you and me.
Right.
We might see a bulky prototype, but that's about it.
Perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, no virtual reality headset, just connects to your nervous system, basically, and allows you into the world to see. Like, okay. But it was a pretty good movie, I have to admit.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if you saw that text. I'm guessing it's a no-go on the $20.
Not this week, unfortunately.
That's all right. That's all right. You've got more important stuff than taking care of me right now. So
taking care of you is important to me, but unfortunately, I do have a lot of other stuff going on.
Yep. So I talked to Dad about the other day. Wished him and Mom Happy New Year's.
Right.
It wasn't him who did the care package, so that leads me to believe it was Grandpa V.
Perhaps.
Yeah, because somebody keeps putting money in my account, and I know it's not you because it's not on Wednesdays, and it's not even a little while after Wednesdays, kind of like Tuesdays and stuff.
Perhaps it is.
Yeah. But once I get shipped out to prison, it'll probably be smart not to continue putting money on there, because it'll just be going to court funds and stuff. I won't even see it. Probably gonna have some sort of different account in prison, but from what I've heard, they have like Facebook and Messenger. So obviously, I'm going to create a new account, but we won't have to constantly be paying for text with that.
Yeah. We'll figure all that out when the time comes. I'm sure it'll be different.
Yep, definitely. And from what I've heard, time there will fly faster.
I hope so, for your sake.
Yeah. Time here is slow as heck.
Yeah, I know, buddy.
It's painful.
I know, bro.
From what I've heard, you also buy the subscription once in the joint, and then you never have to do so again. Unlike here, where you have to pay for it every freaking month. Because, you have to pay for the tablet and the subscription. I'd say that's more than enough.
I would think so.
Yeah. I don't know for certain, but like you said, we'll figure that kind of stuff out when we get there.
Yeah.
One of the reasons time flows faster, though, is because there's an actual way to get into a freaking routine where you're not just sitting around doing practically nothing for hours on end.
Right.
Get a TV and whatnot, personal TV, and you can actually pick your channels or whatnot. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I think recently they created a channel where it plays anime all day, but I can't remember the freaking name of it. I'll have to figure that out when I get there. But
I couldn't tell you. I don't know anything about anime.
You said what?
That I couldn't tell you. I don't know anything about anime.
Yeah, I know you watch a little bit, but not much. You're not a hardcore fan like me. No offense.
No, that's okay. I've watched a long time ago, and now I just haven't had time.
That's gotta suck. Hopefully, if you do get a different job, you will have time.
I might have time, but I have other things I'd rather spend it doing than watching anime. But to each their own.
Yeah, I suppose. That was one of the reasons I partially used to enjoy having Fridays off, because Shonda wanted me to take care of Gabriel. That was before Timothy came into the picture. But I'd get Fridays off to take care of Gabriel, and Fridays was when new episodes of MHA came out. Anyway. Nothing too interesting has happened here. One of the guys got taken to security after he broke one of the shaving razors into pieces and flushed it down the toilet. Almost got his bunkie in trouble.
Interesting.
Yeah. But there hasn't been too much of interest. Hopefully once sentencing hits, I'll be shipped out pretty soon.
Yeah.
And from there on, things will definitely pick up speed.
Yeah.
So, I think we're about to get off a second quarantine in less than a month because of a bunch of COVID claims or something.
Right.
Yeah. I swear, COVID is over with. They're just dragging it out. Maybe there might be small remnants left, but that's nothing to be worried about as long as the people are smart.
Right.
Speaking of sick, I'm feeling better.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah. Can finally breathe again. You probably remember hearing how congested I was last time.
Right.
Not anymore. That's a big relief.
Most definitely.
You have 1 minute left.
Anyway, I'd better let you go. But I love you, and I miss you. It's always good to talk to you, bro.
Love you too. It's always good to talk to you.
I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
I'll see you soon, buddy. Just hang tight.
I will.
Love you, bro.
Love you too, bro.
All right. Bye.
Bye, bro.
The caller has hung up. Hello, this is a collect call from
Paul Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press
1. To thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hi, Nolan. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you? I think so. Did they not say?
I'm doing.
Yeah, I understand that. Sorry, I'm very tired.
Yep. Just got off work.
Yeah, not long ago.
So, I had my PSI yesterday, pre-sentence investigation.
Okay.
And then just earlier this morning, or maybe it was the other day that it was the PSI. But anyway, my pre-sentence investigation was recently, and I got the paper for the new court date. Hang on, let me grab it here.
Okay.
Monday, February 22nd at 8:30 a.m.
Okay. February.
Yep.
Is that, are you going to get a psychological exam before then, or?
A second what?
A psychological exam. Or was that part of your?
That's what I'll be getting.
Okay. Good.
So that's one of the reasons that they postponed it to 26th was for the evaluation.
Okay.
So I don't know how much that will help me out, but
I think it'll help, but we'll just have to play it by ear.
Yep. Been getting more postcards from people.
Oh, really? All nice, I hope?
Yes, all nice.
Good.
Since I had a couple of spare envelopes that I didn't need at that moment, I actually sent mails back to one of them, and she was nice enough to respond.
Good.
Yeah. So I figured, pen pal maybe, because I've been asking the chaplain for a pen pal for a little while, and he just keeps giving me the excuse of, they're too busy or they don't have enough people to be pen pals.
Right.
So I'm just waiting for the reply.
I don't know if that's as much of a thing with county than it would be with state.
Yeah. No.
I called the DA today, but I'll have to try him again tomorrow because I got his voicemail about setting up a meeting with you when I'm in town next week.
Yep. What day are you coming in?
I'm coming in the 22nd. I would probably come and see you the 23rd.
Yep.
It would work better for my schedule.
Yep. Right after Shonda's sentencing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. Do you happen to have a bit to spare, commissary-wise, or no?
What happened to everything from Steve?
Like I said, they've been slowly weaning it off for some reason. I've been, I haven't been spoiling. I've been sticking to $30 or $40 orders, but honestly, I don't even know what it's for. This jail is insane. Yeah. It's in debt to other counties, so who knows? Maybe they're pulling money from inmates.
Well, I'll look into it, but I don't know. With Christina's new job, and I just put in my 2 weeks notice at work today. I can't make any promises. Yeah.
Well, where's Christina working now?
She's working back at her old job for now, where life is easier and she has more reasonable hours.
Yeah. So, where are you going to be going?
I've got two different options. One that's already told me that they want me, and the other I'm waiting for a response the first of this next week. So we'll play it by ear and see see how it goes.
You think you'll still be able to help me out once I get down there with the job?
I'm sure one way or another I can help you figure it out.
Yep. I mean, I try not to focus on it, but still sometimes just the amount of stuff I still need to figure out is overwhelming. But, take it day by day.
Whatever time that you have before then to work on yourself.
Yep. So they did a finishing lice treatment the other day. Yeah. Took all our clothes and stuff again to wash them.
Right.
It's, never fun. Especially with how cold it is here. I mean, we've got like 18 inches on the ground or so. We've got snowbanks out there that are like 5 feet, they look like. 6 feet.
That's crazy. It'll be nice to see snow, though, when we come up, since we don't really get snow here.
Just make sure to bring your heavy winter clothes.
Will do.
And make sure that the car doesn't have problems with snow, either.
That won't be my problem. But
what do you mean it won't be your problem?
I'm not driving up.
Yeah, I know. I just figured whatever rental car you were going to get.
Yeah, I don't imagine that they have rental cars up there that aren't at least front-wheel drive.
Yep. Saw the Blue Beetle movie.
Oh, did you like it? I watched that one a while ago.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I thought it was okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's been insane staying in here.
How so?
Food's terrible. It's almost always freezing.
Sorry.
Showers aren't on for very long, 15 minutes, and even with that, the water is, I don't know, it's like hard or heavy water. It's got a richer iron concentration than normal water, and it's really hard on the skin. There have been slight improvements in the food. I mean, we get fish on Fridays and pizza on Tuesdays, but other than that, yeah, sometimes that happens anyway. Other times it's something different. But, honestly, I'm rather looking forward to prison because from what I've heard, it's way better.
Yeah.
You don't have your tablets taken away at night. They give you the charger. So you can charge them in your cell. And, you don't have this monthly subscription baloney. It's a one-time pay because you already paid for like $60 for a tablet that's like the size of a phone. I mean, they have bigger ones, but I think the smaller one will be smarter because it's cheaper.
Right.
Not super duper cheap, but cheaper.
Yeah, I understand. Better at least.
I mean, you get a job, and the time flows faster because you actually can get on a schedule.
Right.
Yeah. And you can actually go outside and breathe. And I swear, all we get is a bunch of recycled farts. But
I understand, buddy.
from what I've heard in the joint, they have freaking microwaves and stuff, so you can actually heat like any commissary, like noodles or whatnot, you get. And you don't just have to let them sit in hot water.
And we have hot water.
My bunkie says, and they have hot water.
Right.
The water fluctuates in here. It's annoying.
Right.
Most of the time we have to wait until our water gets warm enough.
Yeah. Oh, you all right, man? Holy crap.
Oh.
Hey, you all right? I had better let you go. My bunkie just took a tumble. I need to make sure he's all right.
Oh, I got gas on my teeth, man.
But
I'm okay. I'm just telling you.
But I love you, and are you sure?
Yeah, no. Don't even worry about it.
Okay. Well, never mind then. He says he's going to be all right. Shocked the crap out of me, though. Oh.
Or did he fall off his bunk or something?
He was getting down, and I think his foot slipped.
You can hit that button for me, though.
Yeah. But
I'll probably let you go anyway. I'm sure it's going to run out soon, and I need to get ready for bed. I've got another long day ahead of me tomorrow.
Yep. But I love you, and I miss you.
I love and miss you too, buddy. Christina says hi, and she loves and misses you too.
Hi, Christina. Love you and miss you too, sis.
But we'll see you soon, buddy.
All right.
Take it easy, bro.
Bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye, bud.
Hey,
Hello, this is a collect call from
Paul Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect,
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
That was a lot quicker.
Was it quicker? Well, this time they didn't
Very
ask
much
for all
so.
the digits. Yeah, they didn't ask for all the digits off my credit card, so it went a little faster. But I still thought it was kind of slow. But
It was quicker
maybe
than last time.
maybe it would be better if I prepay and then it goes through quicker. I might have to check that out and see how that works. But
Yeah.
I'll try doing that tomorrow and set something up. Excuse me.
Yep.
But I forgot what I was going to ask you already. Oh, I remember. When you went to school in Oklahoma, did you get bullied?
A little bit in elementary school, but with middle and high school, not really. I suppose it was
good.
my taller, maybe not the fact that I was bulk, but I had a taller stature than most.
Oh, okay. Well, that is good.
I've got my older brother by like an inch or so.
You beat him out?
No, I've got him height-wise. I've got him height-wise by an inch or so.
Yeah, he's kind of wider than you. He looks like he's more muscular.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so you're the tallest one in your family, though, then.
My dad's slightly taller than I am, but who knows? I may become taller than him.
Yeah, maybe. How far away from you are you from his height?
An inch or so.
Oh, yeah, you might very well pass him. You might. Yep. That would be good, wouldn't it? You can look down on your dad instead of having to look up to him. Have you heard from your dad then? Has he been calling you or anything?
Normally they can't call in. You have to call out. But
okay.
They normally try to call at least once a week.
Oh, okay, good. So I'm glad you got people that.
Thing is, when I get on my tablet, I have a tendency to, because of my ADHD, I can actually hyper focus on something.
Yeah, they say I take medicine for ADHD, so I totally understand. When I when I do stuff, I hyper focus on it too. Especially when I was working at the state, I tuned everything out and I'd be zeroed right in on my work. And
right.
I spend the day doing that. Yeah. So hyper focus.
Back when I was in elementary school, it was basically like a superpower. I couldn't hear anything. And if you needed to if the teacher had to get my attention, they'd literally have to either physically touch me and like shake me or like get their hand in front of my vision when I was reading.
Just to get
Otherwise, I could not notice anything.
Yeah, I was like that too.
When it comes to multitasking.
Yeah, I used to I daydreamed a lot. I'd just be in my own little world, or I'd start drawing pictures or something, and then sometimes I'd get so anxious that I wanted to get up and run around because my legs would start getting antsy.
Yeah.
So I'd get up and I'd get up and sharpen my pencil just so I could get up and move my legs.
Yeah.
So it was, and I was a wild child, always moving around, but I played outdoors a lot, so I had lots of fun outside.
Yeah.
Like sit still.
Of course, I could sit down for hours and do like a puzzle or build a Lego set.
Yes. When it's something you're interested in, you're totally focused, right? Yeah.
It's more than that. Like I said through text, I'm a kinetic learner. I learn better with hands-on activities.
Oh yeah.
Doing something with my hands calms me. And with the puzzles, you not only have to use your hands, you have to actually think, where does this go? What does it look similar to?
Yes. And you look at the shapes and eyeball it out, and I can separate it. Do you separate it all by colors and everything to get ready to put it together? The puzzle pieces. Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Didn't know if we got connected or, that it pushed us off or something. But are you okay?
Yeah. Even now, talking to you, I pace because I don't do well at just sitting. That's one of the better things about talking over the tablets is you can actually physically move around. You don't have to stay in one spot.
Yeah. You're so much like my son, Ryan. You're just like, it's like talking to Ryan, I'm telling you. Because that's what he does too. He'll pace. In fact, he gets where he hates to go to the doctor and get a shot or something, so he gets really paranoid about it. So he'll pace for hours worrying about having to go in to have a shot. He just takes shots.
Actually, with his first ever shot that he got when we were younger, I remember he was panicking. And next thing the doctor just goes, all done. And he's like, wait, what? Didn't feel it because his panic blocked it off.
That's
just like
that's so true, because that's when Ryan, he got his first shot because he wanted to go overseas, so he had to go get a shot at Walmart or something, Walgreens. And I had to go with him because he was so scared. I mean, he was sweating and just hyperventilating almost. So I went with him, and so I kept saying, think of something else. You won't, it's not that bad. Think of something else. Because, I mean, those kids have been hit in the head, not to be more painful than a shot. But he got the shot, and he was just like that. Wait, what? It's over? And he was like...
It's like with all the panic going through your brain, you can't function or feel or sense anything else.
Exactly. And they spend how many, like Ryan, hours pacing and worrying about getting a shot. He'd be pacing all the time, and here the shot was only like, what, couple, like 10 seconds or less.
I remember the last shot I got, I actually started laughing for some reason.
You were laughing? What, a tickle?
I don't understand it myself. I don't even know. That was I was getting a couple of boosters that I've been needed, that were ready for reboosting at the time that I'd also been getting stitches removed.
Oh, what'd you have stitches for?
I got bit by a dog on my leg and had to get stitches.
You did?
That was years ago, yeah.
Oh, wow. I've never been bitten by a dog, knock on wood. But wow, was it your dog or was it some stray dog?
It was my stepmother's sister's husband's dog.
Your stepmother's sister's husband's dog. Okay, I think I got it.
Yeah, a German Shepherd, not a small one.
Oh, yeah. My German Shepherd, he's pretty nice now, but when I first got him, he was so scared all the time. I shouldn't say he hated people, but he was really afraid. And he was really scared of men, especially ones with hats on. And he'd growl at him a lot and stuff. But now he's a sweetheart. He's so easygoing. He still gets scared of everything. He hates thunder and lightning, but he's pretty good. He's a good boy. But yeah, I was wondering if, because like my son, he got bullied in school and everything. Of course, he was brilliant. He was reading biology books when he was 7, and when they were college level books. His sister would bring him home from college, and then he'd read them. And
I'm smart, but I'm not that smart.
Yeah, he's like none other I've ever seen, and he's like. He knows all the subjects. You know, he knows physics and he knows English and he does all that stuff. So yeah, he's got some kind of real big brain. He's got a. It was a nightmare for me. Yeah, it would have been. It was a nightmare for me when I was growing up. I did terrible in school. I had a real hard time with it in school. I got better when I got into high school and went to college, but I struggled a lot when I was a kid. I hate math.
I wasn't terrible in school. I was pretty good with numbers.
Oh,
geometry
you're good with numbers?
Oh,
you didn't like geometry?
So.
But you got the brain. You got the the math brain. But
I have the basics of what's necessary.
Oh, okay. I don't like math, but you got the creativity to go with it. You write, so that's you got a creative nature then.
I remember in my last year of elementary school, we had accelerated reading goals. And I set my last one, because I passed all my other ones, so I set my last one, the highest I'd ever done, and put it at 200 points.
Wow.
And I'd read books at home because we had a very vast amount of books.
That's great.
Yeah, but I'd go in and after I'd read the books and I'd take test after test. Finally, one day I'm taking another test and my teacher comes over, puts his hand on my shoulder and goes, "You do realize you've doubled your goal, right?"
Whoa!
I was over 400.
Did you know it? Did you kind of realize you did, or was that a shock?
Not until she said anything. I hadn't been checking.
Wow. And you're like blown away?
Yep.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, that would make you feel good. That'd make you feel good about yourself, right?
Like honorable mentions in the final assembly.
Oh, that's awesome. How many kids went to your school?
In high school?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you go to public school in high school?
Before I went to Boulevard Academy, I went to Santa Fe High School. There were only 3 high schools in Edmond.
Oh, okay.
Edmond North and Edmond Memorial.
Did you like the high school?
Yeah. I suppose one of the other things about Boulevard, though, was there was less students, less stress. And
oh, good.
To graduate early, which I did. I graduated in November, technically, of 2019 instead of 2020.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I wish I could have graduated early. Yeah, that makes it nice. You're happy. But you don't get snow down there in Oklahoma, do you?
Moderate. We've had ice storms, though. Those are never fun.
Oh, ice storms, man! I would drive through Oklahoma because I'd drive out to Arizona to see my sister, and it was so darn dusty. I tell you what, my whole car was covered in dust, and I could taste it, and it was in my hair. And you guys get a lot of dust down there.
And we were right in the center of Tornado Alley, too.
You were, oh, yeah, I never thought about that. Oklahoma gets clobbered all the time. Did you ever see one?
My dad had actually gone outside to, what he normally did when there was big tornadoes and whatnot going on the news, he'd go outside, check the weather up above.
Yeah.
He went out there the day of the Moral tornado in 2013.
Yeah.
He looks up and goes, the clouds are spinning.
Yeah.
It's this tornado forming right above our house. It didn't touch down on us or near us, but
well, that's
that was
scary. Yeah, when it's spinning like that, it's a funnel trying to form. Do you like weather? Do you like to study weather?
I'd say I'm not a big fan of heat, but I'm not a big fan of frigidity either.
Yeah, and do you hate Michigan for the
You
cold?
have 1 minute left.
I'm not too bad with it. Is it all right to call one last time?
Yes.
But,
yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be fine if we get disconnected. Give me a call back. So you can only call out. I can't call you then.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
I learned that.
A video that sets up, you calling in for me. I just have to ensure that the guards let me out at the proper time. Nothing in the morning because I'm not awake.
That's for the video thing, or what? Or when somebody?
Yeah.
Not for visit.
Yeah, at the moment they're dragging out COVID excuses to keep us from visiting.
Oh, I was wondering. I saw that on their website, so I kind of wondered.
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye. Hello, this is a collect call from
Paul Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect, press 2.
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, so what's been happening? I can't remember.
Nothing much.
No. Do you on your tablet? Can you read books? Hey, Paul.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to shoot another inmate in here. He's asking me a question that I can't even remember the answer to. What were you saying? Sorry.
I was wondering, on your tablets, can you read books from your tablet today?
Sort of. I mean, they have an ebook thing, but the choices are super duper limited to a bunch of old stuff that's not exactly interesting.
Yeah, be boring. It's not. So they don't have a whole list of stuff you can read. That's too bad.
Nope.
Oh man, that's too bad. I was thinking, do you like comic books?
Very much.
Do you? What's your favorite?
I think you already know that one, My Hero Academia.
The what? Which one?
My Hero Academia manga.
Oh, they make that in a comic book?
It started out as a comic book, like most animes nowadays. Once they start out as the comic, and then when they get enough views or whatnot, they become an anime.
Oh, see, I'm an old-fashioned person. I didn't know that. That's really neat. So it starts out as a comic book, and then if it's popular, then it becomes an anime. That's interesting.
Yep. And of course,
so you're
you can
teaching
also
me
find
stuff.
The comic book online. That's normally what I did. They let out a new chapter every week, so I didn't have to wait months and months for a new comic to come out.
Oh, okay. So every week you can get a new one?
A new chapter would pop out on the website that I always had open on my phone. It was always the number one website that I never closed.
Oh, now you can't get it.
Exactly. I'm so far behind. And the fact that as you sent to me, they're drawing in on their finale.
Oh.
It's just like,
oh my gosh. Oh, that's sad.
I know.
I wish I could help you on that one, like send you scripts or something. But
Yeah.
they only allowed those cards to mail. But I think you're right. I think you told me.
From what I've heard, you could order comic books and have them like sent to me. But of course, after, when I leave, if I go to the prison, they become jail property.
Oh, okay. Because I know when I looked up to be able to send you anything, they said that they'll end up either throwing it away or return it to sender. They don't take stuff like that. You can only send those cards. But I was thinking, in the prison, they allow better mail, right? Because I'll be able to write shit. So I'm wondering, I think you have the ability to get packages when you go to the prison, I think.
Yeah. No.
If that's the case, I'll mail you some comics.
If the psych evals do well, I suppose, if the results show something, who knows? I may not be here much longer. I may not even see the inside of a prison.
I hope so. I guess we should think the worst and then be thankful for the best.
Hope for the best, expect the worst.
Yes, that's it.
Something I learned a long time ago.
Yeah, that's the way I live my life too. And then that way it doesn't hurt as bad if it's not, not what I was hoping for. But yeah, that would be with the psych eval. I hope they did a good job with it. And, be able to see that you're an Asperger and autism, because that should benefit you greatly in having a mitigating circumstance. So I'm praying every day for you. So hopefully, do you even know when you'll be able to see the results?
No, not yet.
Will they show you the results?
I don't even know about that one. I know sometime next week, I should have a second psych eval.
Oh, good. Good.
It'd at least be nice if my lawyer could figure out some way to schedule it in the afternoon or evening when I'm actually awake.
Oh, yeah, so you're not half asleep because your sleeping's all bad.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to go with their schedule probably, huh?
Right. Yesterday, he set up like 3 visits. They let me go to the first one, and I guess they checked the next 2, and he never showed. And then he set up another one this morning and actually did. Like, dude, what was that?
Yeah.
I was up at 8 o'clock yesterday.
Well, did they take a long time to do?
The ones he'd set up were all 25-minuters.
Okay.
After the first 5 minutes of waiting for him to show for the first visit, I hit the button, and it's like, yeah, he's not showing up.
Oh, okay. Does it like a written test that you have, or is it on the computer, or is it somebody
that interview of sorts?
Oh, with the live?
Yeah. Though I think the next one is going to be over the not a physical, internet visit.
Oh, okay, over the screen. Okay, online, I guess. Yeah. Well, they've done a lot of testing then, I would think, huh?
Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I'm anxious to see what the results are. I'm really praying that it helps your case. I'm really praying. But like you said, hope for the best and accept the worst. Well, how did that go again?
Hope for the best, but expect the worst.
Yeah, expect the worst. Okay, gosh, my memory is so bad. Getting worse every day. When you get my age, you start seeing things go away. But I guess the alternative to getting old is better than the alternative to old is not good. But I'm thinking I've got a few years left. But, yeah, you hopefully if you do go to prison at all, you can get out at a fairly decent, time where you've got your whole life ahead of you still.
I haven't even hit my prime.
Yeah, you're still a kid. You're still a kid. In fact, they say the brain doesn't develop for teenagers until they're 25. So you got some time before you're even 25.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and you could. There's so much you could do. Get your life back on track, and not have to worry about Shonda or any of those bad places. So you could start fresh. You think you'll go down to your brother's?
It's very likely. If unfortunately I can't get my probation or parole transferred, I'll talk to him about staying with you.
Okay.
Of course, we'll have to come up here once a month for the parole or probationary check or whatever.
Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah, that's not a problem. But so they might not even let you go out of state?
They might not.
Oh, because I thought they, sometimes they transfer people over state. If you go to prison for a while, if they can transfer you to another out-of-state facility. I wonder if they, if they would send you down to be by your brother or what.
Who knows? That would be nice.
Yeah.
But I'm doubtful.
Yeah, because I guess they get to pick it. You don't get to.
Nope, not in the slightest.
Yeah, and I'm sure they go by, if a jail's full, then they would send you somewhere else, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Darn. I just hope. I was reading up on Google, and it shows that Lakeland, Michigan is the best prison in the whole state. They have mental health and classes that you can take, and
this freaking
like
place
it's a lot
doesn't even
better.
have a proper dental or medical care.
Oh, because Lakeland has all, it does have medical and dental and all that, vision, and sounds like
my bunkie's freaking one of his wisdom teeth crumbled last week.
You are kidding? Was he in a lot of pain?
And of course, they freaking nurses didn't do jack dilly squat about it.
You're kidding, because that could be dangerous.
It could get infected. Yeah.
And then you get sepsis. That's bad.
Yeah.
I guess
this is
some money.
This is the worst jail in at least the state, if not the nation.
Well, then I looked up what the worst one is, and that's Ionia. They said that
prison-wise. Yeah, that's probably what. That's probably prison-wise. More talking jail-wise.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because I was looking up prisons. If they send you to prison, but where the best place would be.
They only have one female prison, from what I've heard.
Wonder where that's at.
No, but these Shonda's only got one place to go.
Oh, that was the one in Ypsilanti, isn't it? That's right. Well, that's where the women's prison is. That's the only one in Michigan?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Wow.
That's if she doesn't get sent to a federal prison.
Would that be possible?
Perhaps. I mean, there was a dude in here with, I don't even know how many CSCs, and he went to federal prison.
Oh, no kidding. Did they ship him out of the state?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Oh, dear. Whoa. Well, she deserves it if that happens.
Yep. For all I know, she may very well have already been shipped out.
Well, that could be, too, because they don't waste much time once you get
No, I think
right.
every Friday or so is they haul in the quote-unquote meat wagon.
Was that what they call it?
Yeah, that's what I've heard it be called. The meat
Ew.
wagon.
Oh, that's awful. Oh, man. Oh, so how long will they keep you once the sentencing is done?
Who knows? I mean, it
okay.
could be that I could go to prison if I'm sentenced to prison, it could be that I go the very next Friday that comes up. It could be it takes a couple of weeks. It shouldn't take too long, though.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be like the very next day?
No.
Oh, well, I don't know. That's probably good, because jail would probably be better than the prison, right?
From what I've heard, prisons are better than jail because in there you can actually get on a routine.
Oh, they're cleaner?
A routine. You can get on a routine, and the time flies way faster.
Oh, okay, because I heard they're more violent.
Perhaps, but
yeah.
I mean, as long as you have your ears. I mean, I don't think I'll be going to one where I have to worry about that.
Oh, I hope not. Yeah, because, those gangs and stuff, I think I've heard stories.
It depends. I think it depends on the jail. I mean,
okay.
In there you can buy TV and stuff, but...
Oh, yeah. So you can have more possessions.
Yeah. It's about to cut out on us in a little under 20 seconds, so it's always good to talk to you.
It's always good, yes. I love talking to you, Paul.
Thank you for using Security.
Talk to you later.
Hello, this is a collect call from
Paul Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect, press 2.
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello?
Hey, Paul. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing. For a moment I thought it was glitching out. It does that sometimes.
Oh, no, that was a long process trying to approve that call.
Yeah. It should be easier now, though.
Okay. I'll have to follow up on how to put it, on leaving and making an account for this. I didn't want to do it right now while I was on the phone, but I can certainly set up an account.
Yep.
So any news?
Nothing so far, no.
All right. I got some news. I made contact with your attorney finally.
Oh?
Mm-hmm. I found an obscure email, a Gmail account, and I sent him a message, and he responded back today.
Gotcha.
He obviously doesn't know that I've been talking to you for a while, and he doesn't know that I've been with the prosecuting attorney or the judge.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't want to say too much. I'm just not too encouraged by him, Paul. He has me a little worried. I hope he's sincerely representing you in your best interest. But I think I'm going to talk to Nolan tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me. I'm trying to eat here.
You're good.
I'm trying to cram in a bite before I have a meeting tonight. So.
Gotcha.
So you caught me right there, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, Paul, can I ask you some more background information? Do you mind?
Sure thing. Go ahead.
All right. So when you lived in Oklahoma, you were living with your father and your stepmother?
Yeah, that was after Shonda and Dad got divorced.
Okay.
And Dad remarried.
And so that was for quite a long time, right? Since you were 5 years old till you were 18?
They got Shonda and Dad got divorced when I was still in foster care, and They got remarried. Dad got remarried in 2011, so I was 10 or so, 9 or 10. I don't remember the exact age.
Okay.
I was still in elementary school. That much I know.
And you were in foster care.
That's Department of Human Services had to get involved between us and Shonda. I wouldn't say it was really any of Dad's fault.
Sure.
He was trying to provide for the family.
Sure. Oh, I no judgment at all. Your father. I'm trying to get some better understanding as I'm going to write the judge, and just so I can make a stronger argument on your behalf. But so as you were approaching 18 years old, you were told that you were going to have to move out, and do I understand that right?
It wasn't as I was approaching. It was more a little while after. I was hoping to have at least waited until after my graduation, but due to COVID, it was postponed till July of 2020.
Okay.
And my I guess timeout date not timeout, not limit, what's the word I'm looking for? Deadline to find a place of my own was the end of May.
All right. Did your and you were given this deadline by your dad?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you reached out to Shanda and asked if you could live with her? Is that right?
I didn't ask if I could live with her, no. I ended up at one point ranting over text about how I was trying to find a place to stay because my father and stepmother were, basically kicking me out, and she offered to let me come up here for sanctuary.
Okay.
Though, to be honest, it's not like she did much better teaching me life skills. I don't even know how to drive.
Well, hey, don't feel bad there. Isaac doesn't drive.
It's tough when you have to go 10 miles on an e-bike just to get to work, though.
Yeah. I hear you. Ike's job is just like a mile away, but we're able to get him rides most of the time.
Yeah, I'd say the only times that Shonda lets me, or either gives me a ride or lets me use Uber or something is during the winter months when it's a bit too cold to be e-biking. So I remember one night I just about got skewered by this deer.
Oh, yeah?
I had to have 20 or 30 points.
What in the world? Yeah.
Terrifying. Middle of the night, you can see this deer charging at you. No, thank you.
Well,
I had Sean to drive me to work for a while after that because I was not risking the back roads again.
Sure. You must have lived in the country then, huh?
No, when I went to work, I took the back roads. There was some hillside area that was less populated.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, so when you're still in Oklahoma with your dad and your stepmom, and you're 18 and they're telling you you're going to have to get your own place, was Timothy with you there too?
Yeah. Me and him shared the same room back in Oklahoma.
Okay. So both of you were going to have to leave the house?
No. Just me.
All right.
Timothy wasn't even, I think he was still 13 or 14, something like that.
But how did he end up then at Shanda's?
One thing is, I don't really think that my dad knew how to take care of other men. He didn't know how to take care of males in general. He was better with my sister and my stepsister, but my stepmother basically gave him an ultimatum that's because I had been doing better. I have been doing better up here before Timothy moved up. She gave Dad an ultimatum to either have Timothy come up and live with us, or she would get DHS involved.
Oh.
Yeah. I guess it must have been pretty bad. I don't really have any details other than that on it. So
Shanda wanted Timothy to move in with her.
Yeah. Though I guess at some point in her mind she realized that in her twisted psychopathic mind he was useless, because I feel like that's one of the main reasons she had me come up here was because I was financial support.
Oh. Is it possible? So I think I've told you, in our family we have, my nephew's fully autistic. He's nonverbal, and he sounds like he was very similar to Timothy. They were similar in age. Was Timothy verbal? Could he speak?
He could speak, but it was very garbled, and he couldn't run. He couldn't run properly either. He was speech and motor impaired.
So I'm just guessing here. But I'm pretty confident to guess that Shanda did not realize how much work Timothy was going to be.
I don't think she did, no. I think
this is what might have frustrated her.
He became 16, he became an opportunity to exploit money from. That's about it. But when she realized due to his disabilities, well, maybe not due to his disabilities, but because of his problems, as I guess she would call them, he was not going to be of use to her. And to be honest, I think this whole thing was premeditated on her part. Because when my stepfather, Adam, was in the house, she basically had someone holding her leash, for lack of better terms, keeping her from going full psycho on my brother.
And Adam, he's the one that had a stroke?
Yeah. May he rest in peace.
Oh, he passed away. I didn't know that.
He passed away back in February of last year.
Okay.
While I was in here, yeah. So these calls only last about 15 minutes or so. I just wanted to let you know, so we don't have too much time left.
Okay.
I know you put 25 in, and I figured I should inform you that normally Joanne can help as well. She puts in about 50 or so a week, but I'm not sure if she will be able to this week. I can still manage a $40 or $50 order, but I can't really manage what I normally get with 25. With my appetite, the food they give us here is insuffice completely and totally.
All right. I got you a pillow too. Did you get that?
Not yet. You got me a care package?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll probably get it Friday then. Got me a pillow.
Okay.
I didn't know that. Well,
man needs a pillow, Paul.
Yeah, they they took my part of my improv pillow because it was an extra sheet. I think I told you about that, but
okay. Well, what's your balance right now in your commissary?
25. I can, like I said, I can suffice with 40 to 50. With that much, I can manage to get what I normally do. I get enough noodles to last me a week, along with a midday snack and some chips to mix with the noodles to make it a bit more filling.
Sure. But you,
and of course, go ahead.
You're only allowed 75 a week?
Yeah, 75 a week.
Okay. I just want to make sure they're not cheating you, because I put in 125 last week. So that would mean that you had 50 already still in the commissary.
That's weird.
And then if you had that 50 in there, the reason I put 25 more in, because I figured that would bring the balance up to 75 for the week.
Yeah, I'm following you here. That's, what in the world? I know it's not an error on your part. It's got to be something that this frickin' jail did.
Yeah,
I didn't get the full amount. What on earth?
But I can, if you're needing some more funds, I can help you with that. That's not a problem. It have to be in the morning.
Yeah. I don't want to feel like I'm burdening you with having to worry about that.
Yeah, no burden. Well, in case we get cut off, I'm gonna hopefully talk again with your attorney, and I don't know, just encourage him to. He seems resigned that you're gonna. I don't know. I don't want to say too much. Then I'm gonna talk to your brother.
Left.
Okay.
Yep.
And then hopefully I think I'll be talking to Joanna.
Yeah, I'll talk to. No, I'll probably text Nolan today at least to let him make sure that he knows that you'll be calling him or whatnot tomorrow.
Okay. And then inquire about your commissary. You should have 75 in there. So.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Okay.
I missed a couple. I was missing a couple noodles with the last store order, and I sent in a grievance on that. So, but I'll definitely inquire about that.
Okay. I got the receipts for everything. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm glad you called me. We're going to have a video conference tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Okay. I had to schedule that for 2 o'clock, though.
That's fine. I'll talk to you soon, though, Randall. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Thank
All
you
right.
for
Talk to you later, Paul.
Securus. Goodbye. Hello. This is a collect call from
Paul Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect.
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hi, Joe. Oh! Hi! Detroit Smash!
That's not what the final one was, but yeah.
Yeah, he had it in this movie too. Wow.
Yeah, his final attack was something way stronger, though.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, the United States of World Smash was what he called it.
What's it called?
United States of World Smash.
I didn't hear that. Was it in this movie?
It should have been.
Well,
it's
I didn't
World
catch
Heroes Mission,
that.
right? World
I guess
Heroes
I didn't.
Mission, right?
Oh, yeah. I didn't hear him say it, though.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to watch that one again. I love Pino. Cute little bird.
Yeah,
Pino. I liked him, and Rhodey was really cool, too. I like Rhodey.
Yeah.
I thought he died.
I kind of did, too. I worried for a moment there.
Yeah, because there was a lot of blood, you know?
So it's like, yeah.
You
got hit pretty hard.
Yes. I mean, it was bad, and he landed really hard and stayed that way when they had him on the screen. So I thought, I was sad. I thought he died. And then I thought Deku had died a little earlier because he was bleeding. Yeah, Deku was dying because he was laying in blood. And I thought,
no way they'd kill off the main character.
That's what I kept telling myself. That's what I kept telling myself. I kept saying, nah, they couldn't kill off the main hero unless they're never going to make any more. But I thought he's gotta come back. But
he's got some crazy endurance. That's for dang sure.
Oh yeah, that's the time he needed. Who is that one that
lasers went through his heart?
Yes, and that he was laying in a bunch of blood. So I thought, oh my gosh, that's a lot of blood. He would, be able to.
No way. Yeah.
But he needed to have who's that guy? That was did the cellular
the cell activation.
Yes, he needed him at that point.
He kind of did,
I thought, man, he should be in that movie.
Yeah.
Kachan really makes me. He's so mean and he's so angry.
Kachan, Bakugo.
Oh yeah, Kachan. Yeah, I mean he's so angry and everything, but I like him.
The thing is, quirks have a tendency for certain people. The certain quirks, it can affect their personality.
Oh.
And so his explosive power leads to an explosive personality.
Oh, okay. He's so grouchy, angry all the time, but he always turns out to be the good guy. I mean, he turns out good. Yeah. Oh, you know what my favorite part of the movie was?
What?
Remember when Deku was running towards the train, and Brody was standing there saying, "Oh, I think we got away from him," and then Deku flashed. His face was smashed up on the window. Brody's just like, yeah. I laughed so hard because it's like his face was all smashed up in the glass. Yeah. Oh, that was funny. I laughed so hard. It was just as funny as with Pino. When Pino hit Deku in the face, it was kind of like. I don't know why I think that's funny, but in that train.
You saw Black Whip, right?
Who's Black Whip?
Black Whip. It's one of Deku's new abilities.
He had six. He had six, right? Six.
He'll have six, but the only one that had manifested so far was Black Whip. Those tendrils with black energy that he was using at times.
Is that the one that looked like Spider-Man?
Yeah, sort
that
of.
That could swing him around. Yeah, it was sticky, so he could
He used it to drag the car over a rocky edge too.
Oh yes. Okay, because I thought, that's a new one. I've never seen him do the spider web type of thing before.
Yeah, that comes out in that activates in season 5.
Oh, you got to watch that one. I don't know if I can get that one. I'm going to have to go on one of those charge for a month or something so I can continue to watch these things.
Yeah.
I really like
them. You can read the manga online and it's completely free. I had it free.
And that was the what one?
The comic.
Oh, the Wattpad?
I don't know what it was, but I think there's all sorts of different sites that you can find where you can find My Hero Academia for free. The comic
for free? Because I haven't found any that says it's for free. So they all
I can't
charge.
remember for the life of me what on earth it was called, but it was. I mean, it might have charged. I don't think it did.
Okay,
I mean,
all the
I
ones
wasn't
I saw
dealt with it. Shonda's the one who was paying for my subscriptions. I had to pay her for them.
Oh, I
paid attention.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to look because all the ones I checked out, you had to pay for them. One was like $9-10 a month, but the other ones were $5 a month. But I know that there's a Facebook group where I think you could actually manage to find it through. I'm not 100% certain on that. Oh, okay.
Don't quote me.
Well, would it say like Hero?
It was
just like
I think it was like the official My Hero Academia fan club or something. I don't know. I can't remember for the life of me.
Do they offer the free movies?
On technology. Not the free movies, no.
Oh, okay. It must be terrible for you to have gone a year and a half without.
Do know that manga is comics and anime is the show and the movies.
Okay. But you like manga? You like manga?
Manga, yeah.
Oh, manga.
Yeah.
I can't use Japanese names.
The manga gives you slight, I guess you could call it spoilers, as most people do, but it also, when it actually gets animated, it's just so much better.
Oh, yeah. I like it animated.
Deku vs. Overhaul was nowhere near as good in the book as it was in the actual show.
Because it shows the action, and the noise and the colors and it's a lot better.
It's one of the main things.
Yes, and I liked the I don't know if her name was Morrow. She's a motorcycle girl with the arrows. Until I found out she was a villain.
I don't know her name. Like I said, it's been a while, but I remember her.
Yeah, she had those laser arrows that she shot. I liked it because she rode a motorcycle. Because I ride a motorcycle, so I thought, a motorcycle hero. And then I found out she's a villain. It was like, darn.
Like, dang it.
So, it's like, I don't want to be a villain.
So, at least twice now, you've seen Deku's hair do the whole spike up thing, right?
Yes. That's a superpower?
100. That's when he goes 100%. That's one of the main signs. And his eyes do that wacky thing where, like, the irises, like, surge with power.
Oh, I gotta look at that. I didn't even notice that his hair got more spiky the more power he got.
It went from its floofy curl to this, like, almost Super Saiyan Blue type look.
Okay, because it was like white when he got really mad. I mean, he was like monstrous, and it was white.
That scene against, I like that scene against Fleck Turn when he just started wailing on him.
Yes, that was like, wow, that's the maddest I've ever seen him get.
I wouldn't say it was anger; it was determination.
Yeah, you're right, determination. But he was so mad at that guy, though. He was like, "I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna stop you."
Frickin'. I mean, he must have hit the dude 100,000 times in a single instant.
Yeah, he was on full power.
Yeah, full throttle.
And that was a really strange quirk that the villain had with the mirrors that reflected the.
It wasn't just the mirrors. His skin reflected physical contact. So when Deku threw an attack, the force of it was thrown back. He couldn't even use wind blast flicks because they pumped right back at him. But of course, the villain hadn't at all trained his power. He didn't truly know about it.
Yeah, because I noticed when he started,
a limit.
It started to get less and less, and he was like shocked by it. It's like,
he was like, what?
I can't believe this is happening.
Exactly. He thought he was invincible because of his reflection, but every quirk in the world in MHA has a limit.
Oh, and they reached his limit. So there is a limit. I don't know, though, because even Deku is it's getting stronger and stronger, it seems like. But I imagine.
Well, the thing is, he can't fully use his full power. Did you not see how his arms were kind of, I don't know what the color is, reddish, purplish?
Oh, yeah, I thought they were maybe bruises.
Broken. Try broken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then,
when he first used his power, he was like a glass. When he first got One for All, he was like a glass cannon. He was one and done.
Oh.
He had to slowly develop to get better with what he was doing.
Oh, I see.
The scars on his right hand are from overuse, from using 100% way too many times.
Oh, so he gets more scarred as much as he uses it too much?
Yeah, until at least he's capable of handling the full 100%.
Okay.
The only time that he was able to do so was when Eri was using Rewind on him while he was battling Overhaul. He never even felt the pain of the attack of his own damage because it was like that. It was rewound.
Oh, gosh, I almost have to watch that one again. It seems like I missed so many little pieces that I didn't catch or something. I might have to watch it again.
That's the Eri the Deku versus Overhaul battle, not Deku and Bakugo versus 9.
Oh.
But the battle with Overhaul was just as intense. I mean, at one point, Deku threw, it looked like he threw one punch. And then you just see this flurry of fists soaring at the Overhaul. Like thousands of blows raining down.
Yeah, it's like these super fast punches, like, it was like, that was cool. I thought, Todoroki? Yeah, Todoroki. I thought he died too at first when he fell over the cliff.
Yeah.
Because he kind of disappeared, and I thought, did he die? But then I saw him going up the escalator at the end, so I was like, oh, there he is. He survived.
You have 1 minute left.
Oh, shoot. Call me again. We can have 2 more calls.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll talk and gosh, that time went by fast.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it just seemed like it was like
seen,
5 minutes.
Have you seen the Deku versus Muscular battle? That was an intense one. Deku actually nearly died in that battle. Nearly died.
Oh. What's it called?
Deku versus Muscular.
Oh, I'm going to have to write that down. Deku versus Muscular.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that one up. He almost died in there, huh? Wow.
He almost died, yeah.
Because I thought you almost died in all of these.
Thank you for using Securus.
Talk to you later.
Hello, this is a collect call from...
Hello, Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect, press...
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello. I'm back.
I don't know why it was breaking up on us.
Yeah, it was breaking up like bad. Every once in a while it'll break up a little bit, but that one was really bad. That was really breaking.
I was saying that I had Deku's cosplay suit and a Mr. Adele one.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's breaking up again.
I don't know why.
Yeah, oh, that's better. Yeah, that sounds clear. Were you like, was it on
I don't know what's going on.
Okay. No, what did you say?
I had a Deku and a Mr. Aizawa cosplay suit.
You did?
Yeah, back before all this.
Wow. And you never got to use them?
I did a little bit. Yeah.
Oh. Did somebody saving them for you so when you get out you can use them?
I don't know.
Well, I hope so. Gosh. That's sad. You didn't even get to use it just, a couple times?
Yeah, just a couple. I went out on Halloween a couple years back dressed as Mr. Aizawa. It was a shame I didn't have a wig. It was long hair.
Yeah,
Not really.
Oh, well, gosh. So you would really like going to, like, what's it called? Like
Comic-Con?
Oh, yeah, Comic-Con one?
Thing?
Yeah. Well, where do they have them? Do they have them all over the nation like they do the Comic-Con?
Cosplay is actually just dressing up as the characters.
Oh, it doesn't, where you go to, like,
no,
where everybody gathers.
The Comic-Con is when you dress up as the character and go to a, like, sort of festival thing.
Oh, and would you ever want to do that?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, and you would wear the costumes that you had before? I know my son went to my son went to one in Chicago, and then he went to one in Cleveland, and I'm sure he's been to a lot more because he goes all over the place for that. He likes it so much. But that's something you should do when you get out too, is go to something like that. You'd enjoy it. Have to get you there to one of them and have you enjoy that. since you like that so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
just
figure
wish
out
you
where
could
they hold it.
Yeah, I guess it could be Googled. I would think Google would say where they're being held.
I've heard you can actually meet the people who play their voices and like get them to sign the comic books or something.
Really? That's awesome. Yeah, you'll have to
Yeah.
take the books with you so you can get their autographs.
I'd have to get the comic books first. I didn't even have a full set yet. I wanted to
you'll
buy
have
a full
to get
set,
that.
but getting one is so expensive. I didn't even have a single one of the comics. I just watched the movies and read the comic online.
Is the do they sell that on Amazon?
They should, yeah.
Also, you can get those magazines online then. Not like they're
the comics
hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen they actually had like an MHA Monopoly set. I saw that on what was it, Facebook a couple years back.
They have a Monopoly version of MHA?
They have one with an MHA theme. You know, it's got like the pieces are like Deku's shoe or Bakugo's gauntlets, stuff like that.
That's so cool. Man, that's a lot more popular than I ever thought. Wonder why I've never heard of it before. Yeah, I mean I knew anime existed. I just didn't know it was so popular they even made a Monopoly board out of it. That's amazing. Gosh, I wonder what else they have. Wow. I'll have to. Yeah, do they have the characters too, like figurines?
Yeah,
like in figurines?
They have figure pins, T-shirts, video games.
T-shirts too?
Yes, and video games. I had both My Hero One's Justice 1 and 2.
Oh.
Basically,
Well, I know you can buy the set. I might even have to go out and go to Walmart and get the first season, buy the first season if they have it. Cause,
who knows?
Because I know they have sets of them. They have all the sets, you know, like you can purchase the whole set of MHA. You can buy the whole sets, I noticed.
Yeah.
They're expensive, but it's there. So I have to try, like, buy a season, every once in a while buy the season, and then so I can get to watch them. And that might even be better than paying for a monthly prescription. Because if I paid a monthly prescription, I could own it, you know. Yeah, if I go out and buy it, I can watch it as many times as I want.
Yeah. It does kind of suck that that Funimation is basically, I suppose, getting shut down. I mean, what does the government expect to happen?
Yeah. Why? And why?
Do they expect that people would let them just throw political opinions on children?
They probably want to censor everything, so they can censor it. So nobody has free speech or freedom to say what they want. So they want to. They want to censor it, probably.
It's not like the people in the anime are even American for starters.
Right. They're going into schools and taking like Dr. Seuss books. Remember Dr. Seuss? They're even taking they're taking Dr. Seuss off the. Yep. They're taking all those things and it's like they think it's too mean or that it's too
it's children's books.
Exactly. They even took off remember Mr. Potato Head?
You're kidding.
They took that off too. You can't have a Mr. Potato Head anymore.
Mr. Potato Head? What?
Yep.
Man,
because it was
God, if they try and get rid of Legos, they're going to have a full-scale riot on their hands.
They haven't threatened to do that yet, but you never know. But they haven't started doing that yet.
The moment they think that they decide, maybe we should do this, something's going to go down.
Yeah. I see they have a lot of Lego kits.
Everywhere will lead to revolution.
that's been since I was a kid, and I'm old, but we had Legos when I was a kid, so it's been around at least 50-some years.
Yeah.
So they better not. They're taking away a lot of books and stuff that are classic writings, and they've taken them away. It's not even good. So, when Randall and I come to see you at the sentencing, I'll be able to meet him then, and that'll be the first time. Oh, of course, you saw him on the screen, right? So you know what he looks like.
Yeah, I know what he looks like.
Okay. I don't know what he looks like, so I'm just going to kind of go up to people and say, "Are you Randall? Are you Randall?" Because then we could sit next to each other, during the sentencing, and
or you could do what they do at an airport and come in holding that sign that says Randall so and so.
Do you think the court would get upset if we did that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Randall Meyer. I can't remember. Is it Meyer? I think it's Myra or something.
Myra.
Yeah, that's it. Myra. Yeah, Randall Myra. I could maybe stand outside the courthouse and hold it up. Probably would.
You'd have to get there pretty early. No idea when he gets there.
Yeah, I wonder what time he's expected to get in. Well, I think he'd come in pretty early, too, because he wouldn't want to miss it. I know I'm going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get over there.
Yeah. Granted, you could always set up, next time you talk to him, you could always say, hey, we can meet here.
Yeah, we'll have to pick a spot where we can find each other. He's going to be with his son, so maybe that wouldn't be too
Isaac.
bad. Yeah, is that what his name is? He never told me his name. Isaac?
Yep, Isaac. The wife is Karen, and I think he had one of his daughters was Abigail.
Abigail. Oh, that's my niece's name. I got a niece named Abigail. Oh. Well, they sound like a really nice family. I'm really looking forward to meeting them. Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting them. See.
He bought me a pillow on commissary. He put in a wish list and got me a pillow. I would have gotten one myself. Huh?
How can you get it? They won't let you have it, will they, at the jail?
There's a pillow on commissary. Granted, it's $33. But if you put in a wish, you can actually give people something from the outside. I've gotten, including Randall's, I've gotten 3 so far. 2 from someone I'm still trying to figure out who in the world is.
Oh, well, so if I send you some money, you can get it?
I have a pillow. I don't have to get another one.
Okay. Well, any other things they let you have?
Not that I need.
Okay.
I'm okay on soap and everything. Mainly it's just with my high metabolism, I require more food than most.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, so I'll send you some money. In fact, I'll pay for it tonight so you'll have it. I don't know, when can you access the commissary?
Anytime, really.
Oh, okay,
Granted, we have to
good.
get our commissary for the week in by Wednesday, and it'll be delivered the following Friday.
Oh, so it's a time limit. When you order something, you do it by the Wednesday?
From one Wednesday technically one Thursday to the next Wednesday.
Oh, is that how they do it? So you kind of have to wait for anything you order.
Yeah, a little bit. Which is one of the reasons I try not to put my order in the moment I've got it made up.
Okay.
It feels like you're sitting there in agony just waiting. So I wait to put it in until closer to Wednesday.
Oh, that's a smart idea. Then you don't have to. Yeah, then you don't have to stress like it's not here.
Sold out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do they sell out of stuff real quick?
Sometimes. The other week they didn't have the lemon discs, the hard candy.
Oh. So he got you a pillow. That's so good. I want to buy you something. I want to buy you something. Randall. Randall, he beat me to it, Randall. I'll have to tease him about it when I see him. I'll tease him.
I'm pretty sure you can look for the wish list on the place where you drop the money, or I also know that there's, or either the wish list or you can create a care package. Choose what I get. Sort of thing.
And you could, so you can tell what you want and a person will see it and they'll know what to get you?
I mean, that's the wish list,
you have a wish.
Yes, but the care package is more, you decide.
You have 1 minute left.
Okay, so it's better to put it in the where you decide, right? That way you can get what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have too many limitations for a care package, just nothing spicy.
Okay. So it's just better to send it through the package then, rather than picking stuff out for you.
Either or,
then,
I don't really.
Because then you can buy what you want on your wish list, can't you?
The wish list is for outside people to order, not from inside.
Oh.
But we're about
do you
to
have
get
access
off
to
here?
Okay. Well, I'm going to be putting some money in your account, so expect it.
Yep. It's good to talk to you, JoJo.
Good talking to you, Paul. Okay, take care. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for using
Bye.
Securus. Goodbye. Hello, this is a collect call from
Paul Ferguson.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To consent to this recorded call, press 1. To disconnect, press 2.
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello again. Now, where were we? I guess I can't remember where we were.
We're talking about Decker versus Muscular.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So that's another movie then?
No, that's actually one of the battles that's part of the series, as is the Decker versus Overhaul.
So I gotta get that on those one of those places where they charge $5 a month.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to find it on Netflix.
Yeah, they said something about having it on Netflix, but then somebody was saying that they took them off Netflix.
What? Unbelievable.
Yeah, I guess Netflix somewhere they took it off for some reason, so they don't have it on Netflix anymore. But I heard that Hulu has them. Hulu.
Yeah.
And then there's another app that seems like it just started. Oh gosh, what was its name?
Now, that one I don't know. If it just started, I have no clue.
Yeah, it seemed like it was pretty young. In fact, they were saying that they were going to combine one with the other. One was older. Well, gosh, I wish I had it. I wish I would have wrote it down so I could tell you, see what you thought. But I didn't. Darn. I'll have to look it up and send you a note on it to show you what it says. But, that was good. I just feel, you know how you finish a book or something and it makes you feel bad because it's like all the movies you watch and it's like, now it's over.
Yeah.
And I want to watch more. And it kind of like, man, I just didn't end.
So you're hooked then, huh?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Paul.
You're welcome.
That was a really sly move you made. Now I'm addicted to them.
It wasn't my intention, but I guess I should be glad that there are more weebs out there.
Yes, now I'm an anime guru. I can't believe how popular it is. Yeah, it's like
very popular.
Really popular. Yeah, I was like, man, there's a lot of people that subscribe to that stuff. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Have you watched any more of the fan fictions from like Karma and Jacks of All Trades?
Nope, I haven't checked them again. I want to go in there and look at them again. I know I saw Karma. But Jacks of Trades, I saw, I think, one or two of his. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like what he puts out. He puts out good ones. And Yeah. So I got to check that out too. But in the morning, I'm going to start doing my sketch. Then I'm going to do the
of the Ninja Scorpion.
Yes. I was saying it during the movie. I thought the Scorpion. That's such a clever. That's a clever name. That was good. How did you think of that so fast?
I don't know. I guess that's just my imagination for you.
Man, I thought, wow, that's really clever, Scorpion.
Yeah.
That was a really good one. Well, yeah, I got to make Scorpion.
Yeah.
Got to make him.
The idea slightly originated from the ninja animals my sister taught me how to draw, my stepsister Lexi. But then, she didn't really do so anymore, so I kind of took it over and created a few of my own that she didn't.
Oh, good for you. So you did draw them.
It wasn't very good. It was just like stick figures and whatnot. I have some of the video, some of it in video on my frickin' channel.
I'll have to look it up. I have to look it up. See how you did.
Yeah. It's not all that impressive.
But you had your story with it, or is it just the pictures?
Just a picture.
Yeah.
But
hey, you got to start somewhere.
Ever since you sent me that picture of Nezuko, though, I've been trying to think of a new story.
Oh, good. It inspired you?
It's not just that she inspired me. She's so freaking adorable.
She's pretty. Yeah, she's cute. Yuri's cute, too, with her, her little eyes.
I was thinking, I saw this Gotcha Life animation. I think it's something that I could work with. Deku gets sent to Demon Slayer along with, so far that I've seen, his adopted kids, Eri and Koda did.
Oh, you mean make a story like that, off of that?
It's similar to that, yeah, but I could actually probably change it up a bit to fit what I need. Both Deku and Nezuko are, I guess, what most people would call cinnamon rolls. They're innocent, cute.
Okay.
People have put the two
when they're innocent, they're called cinnamon rolls?
Cinnamon rolls, yes. Because they're sweet.
Oh. I'm learning so much from Paul. It's unbelievable. I'm learning all these things. I just wish I could remember the Japanese names. They're tricky. It's not like they call them George or Henry or Martha or any of that names.
Names have meaning in Japanese. They give the characters actual meanings. Deku's last name, Midoriya, actually means, I think it's I know that Midori means green. And, his hair and eyes are green.
Yeah. So all those names mean something.
Exactly.
I might have to look up some of these names and see.
Mina Ashido, her last name, Ashido, I'm pretty sure that means acid in Japanese, which is her quirk, acid.
Oh, I was wondering, it was funny because yesterday I was thinking that, I thought, man, how about a hero that has a quirk of acid? One that would burn
There's
right through
one
stuff.
in Class 1A. It's the girl that's got pink skin and her corona of her eyes are black. She's got the horns.
Oh, that's her?
That's Mina Ashido, quirk acid.
Oh, that's interesting. So they already made it. They already beat me to acid.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty funny. That she's got the acid. So they already did that already. God, would they do everything now?
Who knows? They have a hero that's a rabbit.
A rabbit hero?
A rabbit quirk.
Does it multiply like so many rabbits?
No, she's basically got rabbit-like physiology. She's got the rabbit ears too. I think she has the tail.
Oh, okay. What is she? What happens when she uses her quirk?
Well, I guess it just gives her more, rabbit-like movement. She's Her legs
She can
move
hop.
fast. I've heard that she's got some kicks that can break through steel.
Oh, that would be good for like a kangaroo.
Yeah.
Kangaroo that has powerful feet because they kick a lot.
I'd say the one thing you want to worry about with animal type quirks is
what?
Certain animals have heat cycles, and that's yeesh.
They have what cycles?
Heat cycles. They're mating cycles of sorts. That can be problematic.
They deal with that on these?
I think they do. I mean, I've seen fan fictions where there's minor details about them having to. There was one where Deku he's not a human, he's a Nekomata, a half human, half cat type person.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was how he got with one of his girlfriends. He has several in it, but anyway. His first girlfriend, they ended up getting together after his first heat.
Oh, somebody was
in at the wrong time.
Oh.
And with it's not exactly easy to control those instincts.
Oh. You know what's funny? I saw one in the crowd. It had like a bucket head. I thought it was like, there's a bucket head. I thought, I wonder what his quirk is, is there a bucket, if you have a bucket head.
There was one I saw where it was like the UA students were standing there, and this dude had this I don't know, it was like the concrete sort of pillar for a head. It almost looked like
a concrete pillar?
Almost like a Lego pillar.
Oh, you should put the one for a Lego hero.
But the fan fiction that I was thinking of, I think I have a good idea where to start with it.
Good.
So in Demon Slayer, the Hashira aren't exactly happy about Nezuko. The Hashira are like the strongest demon slayers. I remember one actually stabbed her while she was in a box that protected her from the sunlight, because demons can't be in sunlight. They'll burn to death.
Oh.
In the box. And what I'm thinking is, if I remember correctly, in this fan fiction, Eri had also been in the box, meaning that she took the blade as well a bit.
Oh. Is she okay?
She's not, badly injured, but Eri's had a bad experience with knives already, with scalpels from Overhaul. It's one of the reasons she wears sleeves to cover the scars.
Oh.
So she suffers a panic attack and cries out for her adopted father, Deku, who promptly comes in and kicks the Hashira who decided to stab her right in the face.
Good for him! Yay! I like Deku.
In that story, when it came to his kid, there was no limit for Deku. He would do anything to protect them.
Yes, I like his strong moral sense. He helps people that need him, and he's just, and his persistence is great. He's a good character. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I think Rhodey was. I like his character.
Yeah. Did you actually get to watch the whole little, not really skit, the little music number that helped Eri break free? I did too. I actually have the song in my music here.
You have it?
Hero 2, yes.
They actually had it available to you?
I know.
I can't believe it. It's not such a bad place after all. Well, yeah, it is.
Hero 2,
I love the music.
Jiro, featuring Christy Costanza.
Oh. That music is beautiful that they play. I love it.
I loved it. I especially liked the number that got gave Eri her first smile. But that was the one I was talking about. It was just that smile. Like I said, it's a war stopper.
love little Erie.
Airy, yes, I do.
Airy.
She was really adopted her already.
Yeah, that is cute.
Well,
she is cute. Yeah, that was a neat twist. That he was trying to get rid of the heroes to save the humans. At least that's what he said. And I was like, oh, that's a neat twist, because the heroes are there to save the humans, not get rid of the heroes.
Some sort of psychotic spin on it to make themselves seem like.
Yeah, but so they twist it for their own purposes.
Certain villains wouldn't become who they are if society didn't turn their backs on them.
Yeah. Well, I guess, in a way I could see if they got too powerful, if they've got, they turned evil, that would be a bad thing. But like Deku said, there's no proof that would happen.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the I don't even remember what it was called, but I know what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
The Quark Apocalypse event or something or the other.
Yes. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yes, I thought that was interesting. It was just an interesting twist to me. I thought, never thought of it that way.
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.
Oh.
Really, 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 really need your love. I'm begging you to be kind. I'm begging you to be kind.